Michael wiped his greasy hands one last time before stepping into Romano's. The elegant restaurant felt like another world. Crystal chandeliers hung from the ceiling, and well-dressed couples spoke in hushed tones. He tugged at his only decent shirt, suddenly aware of how out of place he looked. His cousin had set this up, a blind date with her friend from the gym. "Table 12, she had said. Be there at 7. Michael spotted table 12 near the window. A young woman sat alone, her blonde hair catching the candlelight. She wore a pale blue dress that seemed to shimmer. But something was different about how she sat, very still, her hands resting carefully on the white tablecloth. He walked over, heart pounding. This was it, his first date in 3 years, since the divorce. "Hi," he said, sliding into the chair across from her. "Sorry I'm a bit late. Traffic was terrible." The woman looked up, and her green eyes widened with surprise. "Oh," she said softly, "I think there might be some confusion. I'm Michael," he continued, too nervous to notice her hesitation. "Your friend told me you liked Italian food, so I'm glad she picked this place." "My friend?" The woman tilted her head, a small smile forming. "I'm not sure we're talking about the same person." Before Michael could respond, a waiter appeared. "Good evening. May I start you with some wine?" Michael glanced at the woman, who simply nodded with an amused expression. "Sure," Michael said. "Whatever you recommend." As the waiter poured, Michael noticed the wheelchair beside the table. His face flushed. He had been so focused on his own nervousness that he had missed the obvious signs. "I'm Sarah," the woman said, watching his realization dawn. "And I think you might be at the wrong table." "I'm so sorry," Michael stammered, starting to rise. "I didn't mean to intrude." "Wait," Sarah said, her voice gentle but firm. "The wine is already poured, and honestly, this is the most interesting thing that's happened to me in months. Stay for a drink at least." Michael hesitated, then sat back down. There was something about her smile, warm and genuine, that made him feel less foolish. "So who were you supposed to meet?" Sarah asked. "A woman named Jennifer, my cousin's friend. Blind date." He shook his head. "First one since my divorce. I'm a mechanic, by the way. I fix cars, mostly old ones that people have given up on." "That sounds wonderful," Sarah said, bringing broken things back to life. They talked. Minutes turned into an hour. Sarah told him about the car accident 2 years ago that had changed everything. How she had been a marathon runner, always moving, always busy. Now she was learning to live a different kind of life. "My father owns a manufacturing company," she said quietly. "He keeps trying to give me jobs, positions, things to make me feel useful. But I don't want his pity. I want to find my own purpose again." Michael leaned forward. "My ex-wife used to say I wasted my talents fixing old cars, that I should have been an engineer, made something of myself. But I love what I do. There's something honest about it. A car either runs or it doesn't. You can't fake it." Sarah's eyes brightened. "That's exactly how I feel. I'm tired of people pretending around me, treating me like I'm fragile." Across the restaurant, a tall man in an expensive suit stood at table 14, looking increasingly frustrated. He checked his phone, then scanned the room. His eyes landed on table 12. "Sarah?" The man approached, his face a mixture of relief and confusion. "What are you doing here? I've been waiting at our table." Sarah looked up at her father. "Dad, this is Michael. We've been having the most wonderful conversation." Her father's expression hardened as he took in Michael's worn shirt, his calloused hands. "I see. Well, Sarah, we should probably get to our dinner." "Actually," Sarah said, her voice steady, "I'd like Michael to join us." The tension was thick. Her father clearly wanted to refuse, but something in Sarah's eyes stopped him. Perhaps he recognized a spark he hadn't seen in 2 years. Over dinner, Michael talked about his work with a passion that surprised even himself. He described the satisfaction of hearing an engine purr after weeks of careful restoration. Sarah's father listened, his skepticism slowly giving way to something else. "You know," the older man said finally, "we have a fleet of vehicles at the company. Trucks, forklifts, equipment that's always breaking down. We go through maintenance contractors like water." Michael met his gaze. "Maybe they're just not listening to what the machines are trying to tell them." Sarah laughed, a sound like bells. Her father smiled despite himself as the evening ended. Sarah took Michael's hand. "Thank you for sitting at the wrong table. Best mistake I ever made," Michael said. Her father cleared his throat. "Michael, why don't you stop by the plant next week? Let's talk about those machines." 6 months later, Michael's small repair shop had grown. He had contracts, employees, and a purpose that extended beyond his garage. But the best part was Sunday mornings, when he'd pick up Sarah, and they'd drive to the lake, talking about broken things and second chances. Sometimes the wrong table is exactly where you're meant to be. Thank you for listening to this story. If it touched your heart, please like, share, and subscribe for more tales of unexpected blessings. Leave a comment below about a time when a mistake led you somewhere beautiful. Your stories inspire us all.